What is up, Brad fans? Last show of the year here, so thanks for sticking with us. Happy holidays, happy new year, all that good stuff. And we have a particularly lighthearted and fun one here for you because friend of the show and my go-to guy for weird internet stuff, Jared Cuthbertson, is back on the show. We always have a good time shooting the breeze, as it were. And this episode developed because Jared, throughout the year, has been telling me to get on TikTok. I gotta get on TikTok. This is where all the weirdos are, and him and I share a fascination of weird stuff on the internet, so it seemed like a logical thing. We decided that I would get on TikTok and try and, organically see where the algorithm goes with as little engagement as possible. Because he and other friends have told me the TikTok algorithm is the best. Like it gets to know you so good, and it gives you all this great stuff that you can't look away. All of those things that we've heard about social media, right? But TikTok apparently is to another level. And it is the fastest growing. I think right now it might be one of the only ones that's not losing subscribers, but gaining subscribers when you look at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. So we start the conversation with that. With that in mind, that's how this podcast came about. And in usual fashion, when Jared and I get together, it ranged everywhere. We stuck to TikTok and algorithms, but we discussed the new Chat GPT tool that's out there, if you haven't heard of that. We also talked about YouTube. We talked about how people get radicalized on these different platforms. We made plenty of jokes along the way. We talked about the weird subcultures on TikTok and why TikTok is apparently really good at creating subcultures. It's one of the things that has emerged in the TikTok world is these really strong and unique subcultures. Something about the algorithm, I guess, helps to build that among disparate people with these shared interests. So it was just really fun. Always a great time talking with Jared. I don't need to introduce it too much. It's a all over the place conversation, as always, with my good friend Jared. Everything TikTok, everything social media, just a lot of fun and a great way, I think, to end the year with a real fun episode. So thank you all so much for your listenership over this past year. Coming up in the new year, we should be starting off January, February with 2 episodes about psychedelics. Hopefully those pan out. If not, you'll hear from me about something else. And then beyond that, the year is pretty wide open. I have a few ideas of things I'd like to cover, but as always, please get in touch with me, with the show, 2bradforyou.wordpress.com or at 2bradforyou on Twitter and Instagram is probably the easiest way to get in touch with me. We also have 2bradforyou at gmail.com. So send us a message, get in touch. If you go to 2bradforyou.wordpress.com, the website, all of the information about how to get in touch with us, leave a voice message, all that stuff is there. You can donate to the show if you'd like. That's always very helpful. But what is the most helpful is to please recommend the show to someone who you think would like it. Rate and review it wherever you're getting your podcasts. Subscribe wherever you're getting your podcasts. All that kind of stuff kind of boosts our visibility. So as always, I really, really appreciate your listenership. And I do want to hear from you as to what you want to hear about. What topics do you want to cover? What did you like about the last year of episodes? What can we do better? All of that kind of stuff. And then finally, in the same theme, the same spirit of growing the show, I have to tell you about the Newsly app because we are featured on the Newsly app. So long as I continue reading this, we will be in the Newsly app's featured podcast. So Newsly, all-in-one super app for iOS and Android. It picks the most trending articles on the web on topics you choose at any given moment and reads them to you in a natural human voice. I say this every time I read this. People hate reading. This came up in the episode. Jared can't read. So this is perfect for a guy like him. The entire web becomes listenable for the first time all in one place. Well, it also kind of fits into the topic that we're talking about today with the social media and curating different things for you. But the difference here is Newsly's not going to radicalize you. It's just going to read you your news so you don't have to read. You can browse articles from topics you choose and start playing. As they say, stop scrolling, start listening. You can follow any topics as specific as you like, sports, tech, business, science, whatever it is. You can find the latest articles and they will read into you aloud. Newsly app will read you these articles in a natural human voice. So you don't have to read because reading sucks. We all know that, right? And they have podcasts as well. We're on the featured tab. That's why I'm doing this. Explore trending podcasts from over 80 countries. They also have digital radio. So download and use Newsly for free right now. www.newsly.me. So that's www.newsly.me, newsly.me, or from the link that's in our show description. You can also get it there. There will be a link to newsly.me in the show notes. So you can go and get the app, the Newsly app, and use it for free. Stop scrolling, start listening. You can also use the promo code 2BRAD. Capital TWO, capital BRAD, all one word, 2Brad. I'll also put that in the description, and you can receive a 1 month free premium subscription to try out all the premium features of the Newsly app. Really neat idea. I love that they reached out to me to put us in the featured tab and to spread the word about this. I think it's cool. Get the internet read to you. A lot of people, audiobooks, podcasts, all of this stuff. We're all in the same world where sitting down to read a book maybe takes too much time. You can have all the articles and things you want curated in one place and then have it read to you. So you can do it while you're at the gym, while you're in your car, while you're doing the chores, all of that kind of stuff. Basically how we all listen to podcasts, right? Well, now the whole internet is available like that with the Newsly app. So again, newsly.me, check it out. Use the promo code 2Brad to get a 1 month free subscription. And then that is it. That is all. I'm done. Here is my delightfully fun and weird conversation with my good friend Jared about everything TikTok.
You work from home anyways, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, there's no office you get to not go to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's brutal. I don't even get paid sick days. Who's going to pay me? Me?
It's me? I don't make enough money to pay me sick days. In this economy, you gotta be crazy?
Are you kidding me? Yeah, let's fucking get out of town. Which brings me then to the TikTok, because I hear you can make money on it.
Not in Canada.
Really?
Yeah. They've got some content or creator fund. And for whatever reason, China is just no.
Well, it's because we locked up the Huawei heiress.
Yeah, the Huawei lady, daughter. Yeah. Princess Huawei.
Yeah. Related to Mulan, I believe.
Locked her up in a big tower made of iPhones.
No, made of blackberries. It's got to be blackberries, right? That was
our
contribution to the cell phone game.
Correct. Yeah, it's a BlackBerry tower in Waterloo.
Okay, so you can't make money on it. So okay, let's get into the TikTok thing, because you were and you were not the only one to tell me this, but you are my resident guru of weird internet stuff.
Yeah.
You're my go-to.
Because I avoided it for a long time.
What's that?
I avoided the app for a long time.
Okay, and then what got you into it?
Because most people, I thought I was it was oh, this is, it's I don't know. It's people lip syncing and teens dancing. And then I don't know how I figured it out, but I realized it's full of freaks. To disturbing amount of people who are just broadcasting their mental illness at all times of the day,
Yeah. And that's something we enjoy.
It's just, and it's so popular, it's so prolific it's freaks from every corner of the globe.
Well, this is the good and bad of it that I was reading about, is that it apparently...
So far, I can only see good, but go on.
Right. Excuse me, I misspoke. This is why it's amazing.
Yeah.
Really good at building subcultures.
Yeah.
So when I was looking at it, just doing some reading about TikTok and stuff, it was I guess the algorithm, and who knows how, we don't know how the algorithm works, but there's a lot of unique Yeah, right. Let's all bow our heads to the ivory tower of blackberries for the
Yeah.
algorithm. It's really like it's TikTok has become a place of like subcultures and like really like
Yeah.
dedicated subcultures. And so this would be one of them, the weirdos. So that's the good thing, is that they get to connect, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
But it still
Yeah.
seems oddly
For
exploitative
better or
to
for
me.
worse, but if they're I mean, yeah, listen, there's a lot of them that don't feel ethical to watch. Uh, you know,
I'm not gonna
uh,
lie.
yeah,
There's a
but, like,
few
it's
that
very
make me uncomfortable.
yeah, but it's very still like so, like, I can't remember the guy's name, the guy who invented the algorithm was initially a news algorithm. It
Right.
was meant
Yeah,
that
I've
you would,
heard
like,
this, yeah.
read stuff and then, like, the news it would, like, give you more news that it thinks you would like.
Which is essentially all
And then they
algorithms.
made an app that did that, and then somebody was like, "A much better use for this would be
Yeah.
video. We'll just, readings for nerds. Let's make a video one and ship it to America and,
Destabilize their country.
destabilize the entire country." Uh,
Well, and so
but
this
yeah,
would
no, but then the algorithm, it'll like, it finds what you like, or what I guess it appears to be like how long you look at stuff. Do you interact with posts? And do I like
Mhm.
stuff? But I get a lot of just like right wing nutcases. Not because I enjoy it, because I'll be like, I get so frustrated, I fucking hate it. And so it just gives me more because I'm looking at it and then
Yeah.
I'm going onto that person's profile and like going through all their videos, but look at this fucking stupid idiot,
Yeah.
and then it just giving me more of that. Like this whole week it'll like give you like a live, people just doing live streaming.
Right, yeah.
It's all week. I've just had people convoy protesting still. Apparently, it's still happening. Small groups of like 10 or 15 people on like the afternoon on a Wednesday. Like, don't have jobs, just out there still not feeling free, I
Yeah.
guess.
Protesting against living in the freest society that's probably ever existed.
Yeah. It's 2 p.m. on a Wednesday, and you're marching around like the middle of a road.
Yeah, yeah. And
You're pretty fucking
nobody's
free, bud.
busting your head in. Yeah.
Yeah, no one's
The government is not
living on
busting your head in.
yeah. Yeah, definitely on EI, not having a job, like, what?
Yeah. Receiving government welfare, feeling
Yeah,
no
while
threat
criticizing.
whatsoever, no physical threat
Yeah,
whatsoever from the state, possibly a traffic fine that you would never end up paying. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But so this is okay.
I got
So
a few things I could protest about, but, I had to buy a $10 head of cauliflower the other day.
who can afford cauliflower in this economy? Whoa, look at this rich guy over
Apparently
here.
not me. Yeah, not me.
That's it. The cauliflower budget is gone. Also, what do you
It's
do with
shot.
cauliflower? It's the blandest of vegetables.
Yeah, I have there's a little dish I like to cook, where I eat an entire head of it over the sink with a thing of ranch and hot sauce, and then when I get home from work and I'm starving, and then I just leave the mutilated stump. So
It freaks out my girlfriend when she
it's an
always
old
thinks
it's
it's
an
a
old
bone.
family recipe. Just,
Yeah, well, and it makes you feel healthy because it's cauliflower.
that's right.
Yeah, okay. All right. Fair enough.
Got to
I
balance out the
stand
cheese with
corrected.
something.
Need something to scrape the cheese off the inside as it moves through.
Exactly.
So I mean the subculture thing, I'm it'd be interesting to know exactly how the algorithm works, obviously, and what makes it different than other ones. But I think it's also the delivery system. I mean, it's similar to Instagram, but it seems like a more
Yeah.
seamless interface
Yeah.
with the swiping, and it's like you don't see the captions much. Like the videos are kind of the whole screen. It's not like you're not in that box. And I guess Instagram adopted Reels to try and compete with this. But I think there's an interface thing that goes with it. And then obviously the algorithm. But I'll tell you my experience with it, because you were like, you got to do it because, look at all these freaks and you're sending me the
Yeah.
freakiest stuff. And it was like, I was like, I'm into that. So, and then I got two other friends over here that were like, it's amazing. This algorithm's amazing. Like it nails you. Like, and it's always sending me the good stuff. So I did it for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that. But I was like, I'm not going to like anything, because the
Yeah.
same way I do with Instagram, I don't like anything. I don't like
don't
anybody's
gauge
posts.
anything.
I don't engage because I want to keep my,
Yeah.
I know I'm in there. I know I'm dipping my toe in the sauce and it's like I'm tainted. But I feel like if I engage less, I get less bullshit. Um, so I did that. And of course, the first thing I got was butts, lots of butts, lots of female butts just wiggling in
It's
the
a safe
camera.
it's a safe spot to start, I think, for
Yeah. Yeah. For the
the
demo.
algorithm. It's like, this is a we all we know this is a man.
Yeah.
Let's
Let's send him some butts.
let's show him some butts. We'll see where we go. Okay?
See if he gets enticed. It's
Yeah.
like the
Yeah,
worm on the
let's get
hook.
him. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, check it out. So I was like, I'm not here for butts. I wanted to see because I wanted to see if it would like organically get me to where I like if it was that good, like it could just with my watch time. And then I got a lot of food,
Mm,
like recipes
yeah,
and people cooking insane shit, which is also like I'm not into that. I don't like cooking. I enjoy
yeah.
eating, but like watching other people cook and eat like does nothing
Mm.
for me because I'm just like, what do I get out of this? Absolutely nothing. And I hate cooking.
See, strong disagree.
Yeah, so I was like, but it still kept feeding me that. And then because it's like local, I was getting a lot of German content,
Right.
which it was a lot of like people being like, this is what it's like to live in Germany. Isn't this frustrating? Isn't this part of German society frustrating? So it's like
Yeah,
all these like immigrants, usually Turkish
yeah.
immigrants, being like, doesn't it suck? And I was like, yes, it does. Yes, it does. The German bureaucracy is terrible. I hate it. Please stop reminding me
They
of how bad it is. Um, so it was a lot of that, and then the freaky stuff that did start coming up was like the medical freaky,
ooh.
which was less what I'm into. Like I'm into a good like boil popping.
But not what you're
Yeah,
into.
I can get
Yeah,
behind some, blister popping, like pimple popper, all that. So I can get into a
yeah.
little bit of that. But it was like I was obese and now had all my fat sucked out and have like way too much skin. Look at all my skin.
Yeah.
And it's like that's not what I'm into. And so I was like, but I'm gonna watch that because maybe it'll lead to something else. So I watched too much
Yeah.
skin videos, I'll tell you that. And then it wasn't really bringing me so I was like, I'm gonna have to start engaging with this if I wanted to get it to like hyperdrive.
Yeah.
And the whole time we were texting, and that's what you were saying. You were like, give it some likes, feed the beast, feed the beast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let it
But then
feed.
I saw the terms of service, and I was like, this is wild.
Oh,
I got to get out of this. I got to get
yeah.
out of this. And I made the split to second decision to just be, I'm out. I got enough. I got Google, I got Instagram.
Yeah.
The hooks are in. I'm not saying I'm better than you. I'm a little better than you.
I'm running it on a burner phone now.
Oh, good
So
move. Good move.
I keep it in a completely isolated
It's like
environment
the AI that you can't
in a
let it
Faraday cage. Yeah.
a
Yeah.
Faraday cage. I gotta go
Exactly.
in my special like tinfoil Faraday cage room to look at TikTok. You just the blue light coming under the door.
Yeah.
Oh, Jared's engaging with the algorithm again.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's so like anyway, like it is, if you do like it gets so specialized that I think like I don't know if this dovetails into it all, like that chat
Right,
GPT,
right, right,
the
right.
AI chatbot. Like you can go in there and tell it to write a story. You could be like, here's an idea, write me a story, and it'll spit it out. Whereas like I think of like you should eventually like and just like it's just and TikTok's so catered to you exactly. And there's so many creators, quote unquote, that like I think eventually, like, I don't know, we're all gonna have one person who makes content exclusively for us, and that'll be our new
Right.
economy.
Oh, so when chatbot,
Yeah, like you'll just have like one or two people they just make contact for
yeah,
they'll make content for Brad. You'll watch that, but then you'll have one or two people who just
right,
really like your content, and they'll buy that from
right,
you.
right, 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 right.
It's circular, yeah.
Circular economy. Right. Yeah, yeah,
We'll
yeah. I
all be
think
using
that's
the
what it's called.
chatbot, come up with new, fresh ideas that pass
Right.
off as our own.
And chatbot will be running the world.
Yeah,
It's like so like all the important jobs that need to be done.
God willing. I mean,
We could just, hand that all over to the robot overlord and just make content for each other.
yeah, that's what we should be doing. We should have a robot run the country, and then we just make content for each other. We don't even think about anything else. We just focus on our bringing fresh new content to our viewers, and the robot runs the country. It's an idyllic society, really.
I like it. I'm into it a little bit, but I feel like I guess yeah, it gets specialized. So you get your like three guys that are like know you, but I still feel like it gets stale, and I still feel like we'd have clout chasers,
Yeah.
trying to get all the likes, trying to hoover up all those likes. And what do you do with that? They would disrupt that circular economy because then some poor
That's true.
content creator is going to get disenfranchised. And as Jordan Peterson would say, there'd be no hierarchy, right?
Well, there's men out there who they don't have anyone watching it, and it makes me sad. These guys out there, they're not getting any likes, and they're putting their hearts out.
Yeah. That's okay. So this sidebar, because like you said, how the TikTok, it shows you the right wing idiots, and I'm going to be completely honest here. Fair, not everything Jordan Peterson said or has said is crazy. He's definitely a guy.
He had some good. What does he say? Clean your bedroom, wash your penis. These are good things.
These are good things to do. These are good things to do. Get your life in order. Start with your own body. Yeah. So that being said, he's clearly gone off somewhere.
Eat only meat products.
Yeah, he's gone off somewhere, and so this is
big quaaludes. Well, okay.
Socialism. The commies are coming.
Bad.
Yeah. I don't know. So is he a product of living in the algorithm, and being a slave to the algorithm? I think that's part of it, right?
Well,
guy that starts with a good idea, kind of, has some good ideas, has some interesting perspectives on things, rubs up against society in a way that made him internet famous. And then I feel like it's like once you're in that algorithm world, it's like he becomes the content that people want to shout at. So you get shouted at all the time. So then you become hardened, two fingers to the world, like, fuck you all. The world sucks because from your view, that's all you're seeing. And, and then here we are. But so that's a bit of a sidebar on my take about Peterson and living in the algorithm world, which would be maybe a problem for this content creator society.
I think he ran out of content is what happened.
Oh,
he had to start reaching too
good
far.
Point. Good point.
He got too famous. And he's like, I don't have enough content. And then you're doing collabs with more extremist people. And then you're like, well, all right.
That's a good point. Because the algorithm, the content, people, you got to feed it.
Ultimately, the algorithm destroyed him.
Yeah. Maybe he should.
The man is like a husk of the Jordan Peterson that came onto the scene 5 years ago. This guy is like I said, he's only eating meat. He has got crippling pill addiction.
He seems to be crying in every video.
He's like, the guy's not well.
Yeah,
he's not doing well.
Doesn't seem good. But because I don't know, it's funny because probably the algorithm that knows me the best, my buddy algorithm, my best buddy algorithm, is my YouTube algorithm. That's the one that he really gets me, But still, every once in a while, he tries to red pill me, and I'm like, nope.
Yeah,
I see what you're doing here. What you're doing here.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be a video about sports, and now it's very misogynistic talking about the WNBA.
Yeah, that's right.
I see what you're doing, and I don't want to. I'm not going down that road.
That is the thing. If you turn your back on the algorithm for 2 seconds, you might get radicalized, right or left.
Yeah.
You gotta.
Did I lose it?
Oh, sorry. My headphones started picking up something else.
Shit, they're listening.
Yo, wait, hold on. Speaking of, what just started playing?
What?
The YouTube app on my goddamn computer just started to fire it up. It heard its name.
Oh my god!
It was like YouTube, and it just started playing. So I started getting a YouTube video coming through my headphones.
Jeez, see, there we go. So I can see why it thinks I could be radicalized. Like I don't fault it for trying.
You got a lot of key. You got a lot of key indicators there that say you might be on the edge. If given the nudge in the right direction.
You know what it's waiting for?
We might be able to get this guy.
It's waiting for my my actual offline social world to fall apart. It's waiting for
Mhm.
me to become
Right,
isolated.
I was just gonna say, it's waiting for your imminent divorce,
It's
and,
waiting for me to become isolated from real human beings, and
yeah,
then and
that's
then
right.
one of those videos is gonna hit, and it's gonna hit, and then I'm gonna be
Well, it's
slave to
yeah.
the algorithm.
Well, that's the thing. All that stuff, whether it's like you're like radicalized or you're like deep, deep, deep in like the left,
The
whatever, like it's
woke,
just
yeah.
like whatever it is, like that chronically, like if you're people who are like chronically online, they're just stuck in this like feedback
Yeah.
loop within like their own stuff. Like it's just like, and I do think it's like a small portion of people, but it's just like
They run the internet.
they run the goddamn
Well,
yeah,
they
yeah, and
dominate the
that's all you see
conversation,
is
yeah, and
like
it's
yeah.
unhealthy, very unhealthy. Um, this is, okay, again, sidebar. I went to a workshop with a psychedelic group, in Berlin.
Ooh,
So I wasn't taking psychedelics. That wasn't what it was. And I'm actually going to make an episode of the podcast about that. So stay tuned, and I'm not going to give away too much. But it was the goal of the workshop was basically like, how do you integrate psychedelic experiences or experience in general? You know, how do you get benefit from it? But again, like the idea being that like let's make something positive out of this. Like you can take it and just trip, and that's fine. But these people believe the real benefit is actually doing something with it. Once you've done the experience,
mhm,
do something with it. And a core piece of this was socializing, like relating your experience to other people. And I never thought about that before, but it makes sense because you think about whether it's the algorithm or psychedelics or something, if you're only talking about it like in yourself, like it's only wheeling
mhm,
around inside your own head, you're so much more prone to like, yeah, falling, whether it's down an algorithm or believing that, you're a god, or, that the spirits are the ayahuasca spirits are talking to me, like, and
yeah,
whatever it is, right? Like if you don't have that social connection, if you're not bouncing things off other people and have other people to be like, hey man,
yeah.
like, whoa, that's a bit weird. So the social component is
Yeah,
huge.
agreed, and, like, on that being said, I feel like people who aren't on TikTok, they don't know what's going on out there. You're missing, just these memes, you're missing out on a big part of meme culture, that you're just totally oblivious to, and then you see it on Reels 3 weeks, 4 weeks later, and it's like, "Yeah, listen, we're done with that. We're on to something way different you couldn't even imagine," you know?
So you're saying that the social connection you get from meme culture is enough.
Yeah, yeah,
So forget what I just said about meeting other
exactly.
people. Memes, memes, memes.
Memes, memes. No, no, I think you're right though.
I think I'm right too. Um, the meme thing is like, I don't know. Do you guys still say fire in the TikTok world? Is it
Let me
fire?
think. Are things fire? Um,
I don't know.
no, there's a new word that I like quite a bit, that the kids are using, and it's mid.
Mid.
Yeah, the
But
opposite
it,
of
it just
fire.
means like middling.
Yeah, like this is
Yeah, yeah,
pretty
middling. Yeah.
whatever, I'm not usually there's a lot of swag, like slang words that's
That's not that creative.
like swag. I never liked that word. I always thought that was a bad, stupid word. But
Yeah.
mid is a good like it. I know exactly what that means. I don't need any context. I'm not going to say things are mid because it's going to sound weird coming out of my old mouth. But it's a good like it's a really good dismissive comment.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. My first reaction,
You'll just see a video and then some shitty kid is just be like mid. It's like, oh,
mid.
it's so
Yeah.
dismissive. Like it's like
Just like some snotty teen
yeah,
just being like, boo.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I remember when we were those teens, but we had to say it to the people's face,
Yeah, that's true. Get the heckle to their face.
Okay, mid. Yeah, my original thought was not that creative, but
That's why
I
it's
see
so
your
good.
point.
It's a
Economical.
little
It's
3-letter
economical.
word. Yeah.
The meme culture is amazing. And as a form of like expression and art,
Yeah.
like I think it's legit. Like it's legit. It's almost like it feels to me like sampling, in
Yes.
music, because you're taking like pictures and stuff and mixing it. I don't know. Maybe that's not an original take. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
No, no, no. And I think
it's memes are great.
I, for one, like I feel lucky, like the age we're at, that we've gotten to see the entire evolution of memes.
Well, and of the internet.
Yeah, of the end, yeah, exactly. Like just like like from like the meme of the raptor thinking. You
Yeah,
know that one?
it's tickling my brain. I
Yeah,
know
I
it's
know,
an
but
old
it's like I
one.
think it
Yeah,
was like whatever a first gen meme to now it's like
it's
this like
nonstop.
you know
I mean, I have an Instagram account, and all it is memes. All like I don't. I mean, my family members are on there. I always follow my family members because I feel like it's rude not to, and I do like to
yeah
see what they're up to.
I
But that's interspersed with
yeah,
just hundreds and hundreds of memes.
but I can't even go on Instagram. Instagram just feels slow and
So it's the
clunky
interface thing.
compared to like TikTok. I know. Yeah. Well, yeah. It's like yeah. It's like the OX. It's the algorithm. Like it's you know. It's what this is what we've been preparing for. You know.
I love that your
It's
hands are in a
taken.
praying
You know
symbol
all the
right
best
now.
parts of. Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
what we've been
Yeah.
preparing for.
This is what as a society we've been preparing ourselves for. You know. It's taken like everything that Instagram had, what made it good. Like everything it did. It took a lot from Vine
Right.
too.
Yeah, yeah. And
Right.
Vine was,
Like I never really used
but it was
Vine.
fire. A lot of great, you would see
Yeah,
that stuff.
it was not. Indeed, it was fire. It was not
It was
mid.
not mid.
Don't let the teens say it was mid because I'll tell you right now, it was fire.
Vine was fire. That's a fact. Because that stuff, that
Yeah,
Vine
you
started
know,
like bubbling out into other things. Like I never really had Vine either, but I know classic Vines. So yeah, TikTok took
yeah.
Vine.
It was just too ahead of its time because it like Vines were 7 seconds. So that's all you
Yeah,
could build, right? And now like a TikTok, like fuck, I don't. Sometimes they're like 10 minutes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They keep,
Is like what they're up. Like I think I don't know. I think you're gonna see Instagram, Facebook are like they're all like they're losing subscribership, I believe. And TikTok's becoming the dominant, you know, social media app. And I wonder like if it'll take over YouTube. Like something's going to replace YouTube.
you think?
I don't know, dude. I've YouTube's all I it's always trying I gotta watch too many ads.
Yeah,
You know, they're really jamming it down my throat these
yeah. And
days.
they're trying to get there. They're trying to be like,
You
they're trying
know?
to be like a Netflix with like, paid subscription and will give you like
Yeah,
original content. It's like I didn't come to YouTube for YouTube corporate content, I came because
I
it's
know. Oh yeah. I'm not here for
yeah,
I'm not here for YouTube
yeah, yeah.
programming. Like
That's like
literally that's the opposite thing that I want you to.
yeah, it's there if they do that, like if they go whole hog in that, I think it's like that's the biggest mistake because YouTube was the original in terms of
Yeah.
like amateur creators.
Yeah.
And that's what people want. And now those like the quality of some of those YouTube shows are amazing. The history stuff that I
Mhm.
watch where it's like animated history, and they got like really good animators. The
Oh,
scripts are great.
yeah.
The research is awesome. It's like these are legit episodes. Way better than anything that's on History Channel right now. History Channel
Yeah.
is
Oh, 100%.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's
I had to
terrible.
watch it at a family
Um,
member's house, History
yeah.
Channel. Like that's all they watched. So I was at a family member's house, and it was
Yeah.
like nonstop, like Discovery and History Channel, and it was just,
With the ads in
yeah, it
between.
was
Full length
mind-numbingly
ads.
bad. You
Oof.
know,
Yeah.
Pawn Stars, ghosts, aliens. Are the
Yeah.
Nazis still alive? We fix old
Dude, oh,
cars.
dude. Hey, whoa, 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 whoa. Listen. Don't if I feel like you're gonna start, you know, talking Nazi superstructures. Okay? That's a flawless show. Okay? I could spend a whole day watching Nazi mega structures.
It's funny because like having lived in Germany for a while, they'll talk
Yeah.
about these things, and then I'll
They just call them mega structures
no,
there.
I look them up, and they'll be
It
like,
doesn't say Nazi at the start of the show. They're just like, oh yeah, oh mega
yeah,
structures,
they're
yeah.
just like, yeah, this was like a cave, that people have known about for years. Like it's not a big deal. Yeah. Did the Nazis use this cave for odd rituals? What were they building in there? No, it's a national park. It's just a cave.
We were storing potatoes and
Yeah.
legumes.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Okay, anyway, History Channel. Yeah, so YouTube was that YouTube was the original. So yeah, I think YouTube, like I said, is still my most used. The ad thing is ridiculous, but I think what you were getting at is shorter is better.
because I think right now 10 minutes, like, you have to cut out all the bloat out of something to get your point across,
Yeah.
right? Like, you can't stretch stuff because, like, I believe, like, YouTube, you want to stretch things to 10 minutes because, like, that's how, like, the way their payment structure works and ads, because if something's 10 minutes, then you can put in, like, 2 mid-roll ads, and so people try to stretch everything to
Right.
hit that, even, like, regardless of should this be 10 minutes long.
Right, right, right. Which is frustrating. I never thought about it that the way the payment, works would influence the, how you make the videos or how long they are. But
Yeah.
that makes perfect sense. But then it's like the short. I mean, people love the short, right? Like the vines, people love the vines.
Mhm.
Everything started with this like short time span, and I feel like that's what is probably best for the TikTok algorithm. Is if
Yeah.
you're constantly going, right? Like
Yeah.
boom, new
There's no
thing.
load time, it just
Yeah,
goes,
yeah.
right?
And so if you're stuck on something for 10 minutes, there's a chance that you exit out, that you're like, meh,
Yeah.
I'm done with this or something like that. Like it's,
You've upset the rhythm of the like, yeah, you might snap to and be like, "I've been on the toilet for two and a
yeah,
half
yeah,
hours.
yeah.
Ugh."
Someone's been knocking on the door for 30 minutes. Are you dead in
Just
there? Um, yeah. So I don't know. I guess I don't know. We'll see. I see what you like. TikTok obviously is the dominant form right now, and like we're just
yeah.
talking about like how it's interesting from a algorithm perspective and like a society perspective, but we're not even touching on the data
No.
perspective,
Well, that's data's king,
right?
baby.
And that it's somehow all going to China, which is interesting. Or did they have to do? I read something about they needed to get a U.S. buyer for it, but then you're just giving it to the U.S. government.
Interesting.
So, what's better? If you had to pick a government to have all of your intimate data,
To have my data?
who would it be? You
I might go with China, honestly. I might give it to China over the US.
you know it would be funny if they like cuz obviously the societies are very different. Autocratic leader versus, western democracy.
Yeah.
If like all of our weird, like and you've heard all the stories, right? That like in China, TikTok is like they show kids educational videos and blah 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 and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
they've kind of built their framework and their way of viewing data based around the way that they do things, which is like discipline and like all these like strict societal things.
Mhm.
So then they start getting this flood of freaks from the Western world that is just like butts and,
Yeah.
guns and like weird
Yeah.
subcultures and stuff that their like data algorithm machine is just like, please stop. I can't handle
Kick.
you know it's like the AI is like, no, no, it's
I can't
yeah,
watch anymore. I don't have eyes. I can't
the
shut them.
horror, the horror.
The
And like
horror.
and that's how we win the Cold War with China, is we just flood them with like
Yeah.
freedom weirdness.
American nonsense. Yeah, freedom, gluttonous freedom nonsense.
Just a gluttonous society that's just filled
Yeah.
with anxiety and super
Yeah.
fire memes.
Yeah. We'll see if is AI capable of suicide? That'll be
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Self-destruct itself so it doesn't have to organize this content.
The masterminds at the Chinese spy agency are just like, we can't make sense of it. It's just too chaotic. we
We can't
we don't it doesn't make any
we have
sense.
no frame of reference for any of it.
It's we don't get it.
Yeah, it's too random. There's no
There's no pattern.
Yeah.
So maybe that'll be our saving grace. So keep it weird. Keep it weird, TikTok.
Yeah, keep it weird.
Keep it weird. They won't know what hit them.
But like that being said, like talking about like the version of TikTok, whatever that they get in China, that's not as mentally damaging. Like what age would you let your kid access?
It's a good question.
Like let's say right now he's 10.
Mm.
You letting him have a TikTok? Or are you trying to keep that? Or are you like being very strict? Be like, okay, your iPad turns on for 2 hours a day or an
Yeah.
hour.
Yeah, I think you have
Do
to.
with it what you will, but
Yeah.
because it like man, I've noticed even like I had to stop because I think it was fucking up my attention span.
Yeah, no doubt.
I was sitting there trying to read, and I was like, "What?" Like,
I'm gonna make a confession here.
it's like, God, am I still reading this stupid page? Like, oh God, like I want to
I'm gonna make a
rip through this
confession
book,
here.
but it's
It's hard for me to read a book these days. Like to get through a
Well, we're
book?
making confessions. It's hard for me to read, dude, just in general. Just I don't know, man. It's like
Letters?
it's just hard for me to read. There, I said it. I can't read.
We got him. We got him. That's what this whole episode was about, admitting that Jared can't.
Yeah,
We got him.
we got it. We got that on tape. I get through life by recognizing product labels.
Yeah. This one's for drinking. This one's for eating.
Yeah, yeah.
This one's for cleaning. This one takes me where I want to go. Oh man. Okay, but yeah, so it definitely is messing up the attention span. I think podcasts, like, I don't know, maybe that's why I can't read anymore, is it's just like I would just much rather listen to a podcast. But
I know.
I don't do audiobooks. I can't do audiobooks.
Really?
I don't know, something about it.
Love me an audiobook.
Yeah, I don't, yeah, it could be,
It's like having someone you read you the story. It's so good.
yeah, what am I, a child?
It's like
Do I
it's
need
like
someone to
it's
read
like
for me?
watching a movie with your eyes closed. Yeah. It's amazing.
You need a bedtime story? You get someone to read you a book at
Yeah,
night?
dude. Oh man, what they do, they do all the voices of the different characters, you know?
Well, this
So
is the
good.
other thing, is that I don't read fiction. Now, I'm not saying I'm better
Right.
than you,
You don't like
but I'm better than you
yeah,
because
but
I
you
only
don't
read nonfiction.
you don't like them make them up.
Yeah,
Fine.
I only read
Not
nonfiction.
into make 'em ups. Yeah,
So it's a lot of dry material, which maybe doesn't translate to the audiobook medium.
that's
For
fair.
example, my latest audiobook, because we get the Audible subscription and you get the free ones, right? So
Yeah.
Teresa, my lovely wife Teresa, is like, we have to use these for, like, get an audiobook. So I'll get like a really dense history book. Right now I'm in The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich, which is like a journalist from the 1930s that was posted in Germany. So he got
Yeah.
access to all of the archived material after the war and after the Nuremberg trials. And it's like
Yeah.
27 hours of just like, this is where Hitler was born and this is how it started and this is the dude, it's fascinating, but it's a slog.
Yeah, sounds very
So
boring.
this might also be why I don't do audiobooks very well. I make myself, like, when I'm going to exercise, I'm like, you have to do the audiobook. No podcasts on exercise. So when I go for a run or something,
Yeah.
it's like, you got to read the audiobook. So I got like 50 more hours of running to do in order to
Jesus
chronicle the entire history of the Third Reich. Fun.
No. That's not for me, dude.
Yeah, yeah. I get it. And now I
know.
can't remember what we were, attention span and
Well, I mean, on that topic, like, I mean, most certainly the Third Reich would have used TikTok.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, it would have been the main party app.
Yeah. It would have
Like,
been
I
compulsory.
feel like that they would have been whizzes at social media and pushing people in certain directions.
Well, man, and this is kind of the interesting thing about, listening to this book, is to see the parallels.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's easy to say like, oh, Trump's a fascist and blah blah blah, and like all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's not a direct comparison there, but there's a lot of interesting parallels, and it's about stuff like influencing public opinion and the backroom games, and how, like, it's just selfish people who are greedy. Like, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
So it's like all the people that were just like, well, yeah, this Hitler guy's crazy, but we could use him, like we could get something out of this,
Yeah.
And then of course you have economic turmoil and all of this stuff going on, is the backdrop in society. But there's so many things when I'm listening to this where I'm just like, yeah, this is, doesn't make me feel
Kind of
that
what's
great.
happening, yeah.
Yeah, doesn't make me feel that great.
Yeah, it doesn't give me a lot of hope.
Yeah. And then it's like, and there was a lot of this, like, false flag kind of things, but like accusing the other side of doing something, right? And then trying to make
Yeah.
up like you make up a lie that it's like, well, look, we found all these pamphlets in this communist guy's house. He's ready to distribute these pamphlets and start a communist revolution. We got to stop this, And then it's like, you turn to social media today, and even like mainstream politicians from Canada are just like, socialist this, socialist that, the socialists are. It's like, it's the same thing. So yeah, I mean, imagine if a a regime like the Nazis had some kind of social media platform. Terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, like the reach you have. Like, so I mean, but that being said, like, that's what I do see a lot on TikTok is like, when I say freaks, I do get it's like a lot. You get a lot of just you get to see conspiracy theorists in their own echo chamber
Mm,
interacting with each other and just going like round and around. Because once again, like if once you get into the algorithm, it very little like will it show you stuff that's not in your lane,
yeah.
right? So it's just going to give you more and more and push you to like deeper and like more away from, like you said, sharing your experiences with other people who might have a different viewpoint, who can shed some light into maybe what's going on,
Yeah.
instead of being people being like, yeah, that is the same thing, and it just gets worse and worse.
Yeah, the echo chamber thing, right? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. It's an odd one, the conspiracy theory thing. Just the level of anger. And I mean, we've talked about this on this podcast before. I'm sure we've talked
Hey,
about it.
listen, you'd be angry too if you thought the world was controlled by lizards. Okay, you'd be pretty pissed. You know?
I hope one
Wouldn't be
guy
too
listens
happy
to
about
this
it,
and is
okay?
like, "Oh, I saw it. I heard it." Uh,
See
yeah,
that? He blinked. His eyeballs blinked sideways. You can see it right here in the
yeah.
frame. Look,
I
he's
mean,
shape-shifting.
and I remember the lizard thing. Like, that's old.
Yeah,
That's
it's an oldie but a goodie.
it's an oldie but a goodie. That's
Bangers like that don't go away, man. That's fucking that's 2020. That's the chronic. Like it's just always going to be a classic.
lizard people.
It was revolutionary when it came out, and it's just always going to be good. So
Whatever happened to David Icke? Is he still alive? Is he still doing?
he's still around.
Yeah, you got
Fuck,
tickets?
I saw something with him. Yeah, I got. Oh yeah, you get tickets. He's actually have speaking.
Yeah, I wonder how COVID hit his bottom line. Not doing those speaking engagements anymore.
Probably, unfortunately, that might literally kill a lot of your base.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go around telling people not to get immunized, and then they don't. And you know what?
And then they're
You're going to
gone.
feel that on tax time. Yeah, then they're gone. That's a loss of revenue, bud.
Oh, my Patreon's gotten awfully quiet.
Yeah, Woody's like, Will, what is going on?
Okay, so weird subcultures on TikTok because you're so into it.
Yeah.
And you're, like you said, this is what we've been preparing for. I think there's a thread there to be like how we've fallen into this. Like it's like a snowball down the hill, and this like just
Yeah.
mass information. It's interesting I think it'll be interesting for, scholars to look back at that, and just because it's quick. So you said like
Yeah.
society's been preparing for this, but have we? Because if it's only been like
I don't. Yeah, I know.
20 years,
It feels
maybe?
like it snuck up us on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, it feels like it snuck up on like, and we are unprepared, clearly.
Yeah, but
Because it's like you said, like, we don't know like what is it, how damaging it is, like your brain and like on the young, like it can't be good.
but I still believe that there is
Like it's
some
fun.
good that comes
It's like
from
I
it.
mean like, but yeah, I mean that is like whatever with TikTok, I do get exposed to like it's really easy to find something to make for dinner or like learn like my stupid brain stuffed full of dumb fucking facts that are meaningless to me that will never serve me any good. But
Wait,
TikTok just keeps giving me more and more.
this is an argument for the good side of TikTok?
No, I don't know. I'm just saying, yeah, that's the good, I guess. It's like I'm pushing out what I would assume is useful information
It all depends on the
and then
context.
getting just, erroneous facts about, the James Webb fucking telescope or whatever.
I guess that's cool.
I don't, but that's the only good I can see is I'm just getting a lot more useless facts about stuff.
About space.
Yeah, about space or whatever, farming. I don't know. Like I'll sit and watch some guys, I don't know, like video about he'll be like I don't know, repairing a plumbing system on a freight liner, and it's like a 10-minute video. It's like, oh yeah, I guess that's how you do it.
If I ever
Solder it. Like,
find
yeah,
myself on a
I ever,
Freightliner
yeah,
where someone's like,
why am I
"Oh,
watching this?
I've thought about that with some of like the wilderness survival stuff that I would watch. And
Oh,
I'm always like, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. This, yeah, I need this. I need to know this.
Yeah, make a mental note. Don't forget this brain. We
Yeah,
might
don't
need it
forget
one
this.
day.
And then a day later, I'm like, how do I start a fire? Where was I going? Because clearly my attention span is
Yeah,
gone
right.
because of the
The
algorithm.
usefulness of
Well, yeah, the usefulness, but also have we been preparing for it? But then I was
mm.
gonna let's shift it on. Let me ask you, um, how many weird subcultures are you in TikTok? I want to know. And what's the most annoying one?
Ooh, shit. I first of all, I couldn't even label them.
Yeah,
I mean, there's just too
you're a
many.
lurker.
Yeah, oh, big time. Like the weirdest for sure is like Appalachian mountain people, like couples who are always talking about drama and they're haters, and they have like 8 followers, so and they're and it's just like there's just thousands, hundreds of thousands, possibly millions of these
Just
people
airing
out
their
there
dirty
just
laundry.
making videos, and like you go to their page, it's like, oh, they make like 6 videos a day.
Wow.
Like it's so crazy,
And so
you
they're
know.
speaking to other people. Like it's like they're having a public fight.
Yeah, 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 and yeah, they might be having a public fight, or they might just be detailing what they're going through in their day. Like they're trying to vlog, but like, let's be honest, they got nothing to vlog about. There's not much going on.
But yet you're watching.
Yeah, I'm watching it, and I like being like, "Ooh, I'm like the only person who's watched this video." But like,
So you're
and
one
then
step away from interacting,
yeah,
from liking the
pretty
posts.
close.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then I guess most annoying has got to be like hustle culture,
Investment bros.
like yeah, like dudes like who are like they're like 19 or 20, and they're like a day in the life of a millionaire stockbroker, and he's like getting out of his Lambo and he's running around and he's looking at a bunch of screens, and then they're selling a course like that. And the manosphere, I think, are the most irritating things I come in contact
The
with that wound me up.
manosphere. Okay, what is
Yeah, they
exactly the
don't
manosphere? I have an idea.
manosphere. It's just like, well, the fact that you said that just lets me know that you are a sigma male. Okay, so as an alpha male, what you don't understand, or sorry, you're a beta.
Yeah, I was gonna
I'm
say I
actually
think
a sigma.
sigma is better than beta. No.
Correct. I'm surprised for a beta. You knew that. That was a trap that I laid for you. Thank you for bringing that up.
Idiot.
Um, yeah, you idiot. And it's just like, yeah, just I don't know. There's like the weirdest misogyny.
But misogyny couched in like empowerment,
Yeah, male empowerment, and then it dovetails with hustle culture somehow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
Like,
could see how the two are related.
yeah, it's yes, it's like it's just shitty. It's just really shitty, and it's like so. It's like I think I hate it because it's so like it's like there's no irony to it. It's so self serious. There's no like.
Yeah.
It's just infuriating to see someone. There's no self awareness to it at all.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And it's even worse. Like at the day, I'm like, oh, I hope they're selling a course. It's like it's even sadder when they aren't selling anything. It's like, oh, this is just they're not even trying to scam people.
Yeah, the people that aren't selling are the people that are just like they're buying. They're
They're
buying
like
the courses.
they're about it. Yeah,
And they just
yeah,
project that like I'm this now.
yeah,
I did the course. Yeah, I guess
yeah.
it's like the pickup
Like I
artist thing
always listen.
from
I love a good
before.
scam. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, but that yeah, the whole pickup art. Yeah, the same thing. But yeah, that's most certainly what like fucking really boils my potatoes.
Yeah.
Gets me so riled up. Yeah,
That you rage watch it and then get fed more.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, nailed it.
Yeah, I know how the algorithm works.
I feel like we're probably going to be having this. We'll be having this conversation next year, and like I'm going to be selling you a course on how to be like an alpha male
Yeah. Yeah.
and recover from crypto winter. I'm just going to get the right nudge over the past year, and I'll just get nudged into the.
The crypto winter? Is that a term that's floating around the internet?
Oh, dude, you don't know?
I mean, I know it's
We're deep in a crypto winter.
so. Are all the hodl bros waiting for spring? Like, is spring around the corner, or do we know?
Yeah, yeah, big time. Yeah, yeah. We're waiting. If
Crypto winter.
if Elon Musk doesn't see a shadow, it's 6 more months of crypto winter.
Oh God. Yeah, that's one that's also an annoying subculture. But it fits in with the manosphere and the financial bros and stuff. The
Yeah,
financial bros, I get that one a little bit in some of my stuff. Manosphere, not so much. I haven't been penetrated by that one. Thank God.
and I pray you never do get penetrated by the manosphere, Brad. It is not a nice time.
It's very
It is.
uncomfortable.
It's very uncomfortable.
um,
Not an enjoyable
I
experience, let me
think the
tell you.
one that I get that bumps up close to that is, and that drives me absolutely insane, and that I rage watch or rage follow because I have to just know and like say to myself and my family how wrong these people are, which is super healthy conversation for my 1.5
Yeah,
year
you
old.
should.
um, is the health lifestyle,
Yeah,
stuff, health and wellness,
yeah,
naturopath, natural whatever, that stuff. Like, and I've talked about this on the podcast before, debunked some of this stuff. Like, it's just infuriating. And I've seen a new level of this that's coming up with bro stuff, and it's like the naked bro yoga,
oh,
and like come to a naked
yeah,
bro
right.
yoga workshop where we'll be like naked bros together finding our inner
And talking
selves. And
about
like,
crypto.
so it's like really, yeah, I'm sure crypto's going to come up as they're doing, naked twister yoga together. Like, I don't know, it's sunning their buttholes. Like, there's that whole thing. Drinking your own
Yeah.
pee is one that's like, it's like super popular right now. And it's like, I feel like that's a recycled old trope. Um, it's just so weird, and it drives me nuts.
Yeah,
And it's always like a bald guy, shaved head. You've seen that
yes.
guy. You
Oh,
know
yeah,
that guy, right? The one, yeah. It's whatever else they do. Sperm retention, all of this stuff. Like, oh,
yeah. It's tough.
that one boils
Yeah,
my potatoes, as you
yeah. And
say.
like again, I think a lot of that stuff too is also this the same thing I see of just being like, men aren't men anymore. How do we go
Yeah.
from this? And he shows like a picture of like people storming Normandy to like Harry Styles in a dress. Be
Sitting
like,
at a
men,
desk.
it's like,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
you want to go to war? What?
Yeah, yes. I feel like you'd be the
Yeah.
last person we want in the
Yeah.
war. Yeah.
What? You want?
Harry Styles is fit. He could
Yeah.
probably
Yeah. Yeah. You
run,
probably kick your ass.
Yeah, it's like,
See that guy's
he's a fit
stage
dude.
cardio, man? Half of fighting's good cardio. Probably beat the brakes off you.
Yeah. And look at his disguise
Yeah.
work. He could go
Yeah, for
undercover.
sure. Yeah.
What are you bringing to the table? Except
Yeah.
whining.
You whining chud.
Yeah. Simp might be my favorite word from the internet.
Which word?
Simp.
Oh, simp. Yeah. Simp's good. That's got staying power.
Simp's
It makes
good.
once again, you say it in context and you're like, oh, I understand what that word means. I don't need any further explanation. Be like, oh, that guy's
Yeah.
simping. It's like, I've never heard this word before, but
Yeah.
I know exactly what it means.
I know that I don't want to
Yeah.
simp or be a
Yeah.
simp. And like many great English words, it's a noun and a
Yeah.
verb.
Cuck is a good one. I like people who just use it for anything. Anytime anyone says something like even like remotely kind or something, it's like you cuck. Like yeah,
And that one's it's a little aggressive for me.
yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. I like that right wing people call everyone cooks.
Yeah, they do. They do that a lot. Yeah.
Fucking you liberal cuck.
Yeah. They do that
Look
a
at this
lot.
cuck. Yeah.
I also feel like that's a lot of projecting. If we've learned anything from the religious right,
Oh
with all
yeah.
the like anti-gay stuff, and then you find out they were gay all along.
If they were, it tends to go.
That's, I mean, there's enough. We have a sample size large enough to be like, it's a trend, it's a thing. Okay, so the health and wellness one, and we've been the other thing we've been chatting about offline is blood boys, blood
Oh, right.
transfusions,
Yes.
and but the open AI thing, when you brought that
Mm.
up to me the other day, I went I went to give it a try, and so I told it to make health and wellness posts, social media posts,
Oh, dude.
and listen to this. It's not about being perfect. It's about making healthy choices that make you feel good. It's pretty bang on.
Love it.
Choose to be healthy, not just for a temporary fix, but for a lifetime of happiness and well-being. I mean, the thing that I got from it was that it was like it's pretty bang on, but it's
Well, that's
also
what I'm saying. Like, you could take both of those to a pitch meeting and be like, okay, here's what we got. Whatever. I've got a couple of slogans. I'm just going to shoot them out. Everybody in the room just kind of tell us how you feel.
yeah.
People would legit think you did that. Like that was actual work you put in.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You could pass this off at like your granola startup, granola delivery startup or something. You could
Yeah.
definitely nourish your body with healthy foods, your mind with positive thoughts, and your soul with self-care. Boom.
I'd say shorten that last one a little bit, but it's pretty good. I love the nuts and bolts of it.
It's a really good starting point.
You know, I legitimately no, yeah.
And so this is the thing. I was like feeding it this stuff and being like, okay, this is like, yeah, I was surprised at how good it was, but it still
Yeah.
felt not quite right. Like it wasn't
No,
quite.
it's like I feel it has there's that little like AI word salad to it
Yeah, 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 yeah.
where it's like, it's like somebody who like doesn't, when you're speaking a language that isn't your own language, you're just kind of chucking some words in there that are maybe in the wrong order or not quite correct.
Or it's just vague. It's like, which I get like a lot
Yeah.
of the,
Well, you can get it. You can tell it to be more specific.
oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Like what's your health and wellness brand? Like I want my health and wellness brand that is taro root for the express purpose uh, of helping gland function. You know,
And then it goes off on glands.
yeah, I'll give you something a little more. You could get more and more granular the more like specific you feed it.
I think you mean glandular. Yeah.
Glandular function.
This is one I got it to write. I said like make a caption. I think I told it a social media caption. Today's wellness
Hmm.
tip. Don't forget to take care of your mental health! Exclamation point.
Just as good advice.
Mental health is just as important as physical health, and it's crucial to make time for self-care and self-reflection in your busy schedule. Whether it's practicing mindfulness, talking to a therapist, or find a creative outlet, make sure to prioritize your mental well-being. You deserve to feel happy and healthy in both body and mind. Hashtag wellness, hashtag mental health awareness.
Wow.
Nailed the hashtags.
Can you ask it if it takes mental health breaks?
I haven't, but I pulled it up, and I'm not sure if I'm not because I wanted to see if it could make a financial bro
Oh.
caption. And I want to see what it does. Let me log in. This is the thing. So this was a question I legit had about this thing. Is like it's scraping the internet for all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
So who like, and it's learning.
Mhm.
So is this just like a big data harvesting thing? Like, are we just going to find out that this was all just feeding into like Cambridge Analytica or something similar?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know where these servers are. I don't know who owns this. Did it make itself?
Yeah, I haven't heard anyone talk about who owns it.
That's a really good point. It
Not
only,
one
but
person.
it only has access to information before 2021, though. I do know that.
Before 2021.
Yeah. So if you asked for like stock predictions, it could only give you accurate stock information up to 2021. But if you want,
Ah,
you can input new information into it.
okay. So I guess there is a safeguard there, but that's it's still weird. Like it feels really like like all of those this is what you'll look like in 100 years, or
Mm,
see what you look like as a
yeah.
woman, or
Yeah,
like
yeah,
and
yeah.
they're just
Yeah.
like harvesting our faces for whatever some
Yeah.
algorithm thing. Oh, and look at it's at capacity right now. Chat GPT is at capacity right now. Too many people are feeding the beast,
Feed me.
so we can't even do it.
Well, I think there's gonna be, like, a real sick window here of about 5 years where you're if you can leverage this, you're gonna be able to look like you do a lot of work. Like, if you work in any sort of, like, creative writing space, or even if you're like a, contract lawyer, coder, you could use this, and as long as your boomer bosses don't know about it, they'll be none the wiser, and they won't know how to use it. But it's only gonna be about 5 years. I think before then, it's gonna be so easy, everyone it'll just be the norm,
Yeah.
you know? You'll have, like, one AI engineer at your company whose job it is to maintain whatever, your creator bot,
Yeah.
and then that's
His
it.
job is to maintain it and keep it in its Faraday cage so it
Yeah,
doesn't
exactly.
realize it has
And
ultimate
feed
power.
it data.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Like, no, like, I saw this guy who's a coder, and he's like, yeah, he's like, I took some code that I wrote. He's like, he puts it in, and he's like, ask the AI, be like, can you find what's wrong with this code? It's not working. It spits out the bar of code that was wrong in it. And he's like, I took that and I emailed it back to my boss for a meeting, and they were like, good work. Looks
Wow.
good. He's like, that would have taken me like the better part of a day.
That seems like a good thing, you know? It's like
Yeah,
when we
for sure.
invented calculators, it was like no one was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
no, you gotta do this by, you didn't do it by hand."
What about God, you're gonna put all these abacus makers out of business, and they
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But even just like, to speed up productivity.
Right.
I guess there's always the downside that yes, people will lose jobs, I guess. Yeah.
People are losing jobs now anyway. I mean,
It's true. So what do you feel though about the like for something like coding it makes sense, or like math,
yeah.
like something like that.
Mhm.
But like AI art, AI jokes, original
That's the thing. If it
synthesis of information, like
content,
yeah,
yeah.
that feels a little weird.
Like, I could see it being really useful. Like, when I was looking and I used it, I was like trying to figure out how to write like a blog post for a company. And it's like, oh, hey, write a blog post for this. And it writes a big post. And then you can go through and be like, okay, we can take this out just to get like something written, like the meat and bones of something, and then pick through it
Yeah, edit it.
is like, it's so much easier than having to write something completely from scratch and then like putting whatever if any skills you bring to the table to change it enough, you
Well, I
know.
mean,
But like art, like, I don't know, like, hey, if it's dope art, I mean, if it looks good, if I like it, I don't care if a computer made it,
yeah, that's true. I mean, music as
you
well.
know.
I feel like if it's good,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
that's just what I'm saying. I think, and this is probably like a real stoner thought, but like the AI is going to get so good
continue.
that, yeah, continue. I'm listening. That you probably are just going to be like, whatever, 50 years, 60 years, if we're still alive. I don't mean me, just as a species, we're still kicking. Um, you're gonna, you know what? When the world's all over and there's no more movie, studios to make anything, that's okay because you're gonna go to your AI and be like, hey, I want to see a new movie. I want to make me a Tom Cruise movie. It's like Top Gun, but instead of planes, it's cars. And this time, Tom Cruise has sex with Iceman, and the computer will like take 2 seconds, and it'll like make the movie for you.
Yeah. So then it's like
Essentially, what I think I just described is also I guess that's just Too Fast, Too Furious. Essentially, is what that
I was in my
would
head,
be.
I was like,
So that's not even really a new.
so you
Yeah,
mean
I just now that I say it, Fast and Furious is just car and Top
yeah.
Gun, essentially, more or less.
We all just have an algorithm that makes on demand. You know what it makes me think of in like Star Trek, how they have the replicator for food?
Yeah,
It's like the same thing. You're just like, oh, I want like chicken soup and blah 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 blah, and it like makes it. It's
content
like I
replicator.
want this movie. Yeah, yeah, I want
Yeah.
this movie. I want this. And with the deep fake faces and stuff like that. I don't know how I feel about it. It feels a little weird. It feels a little weird, but at the end of the day, if the content is fire, I will watch it.
Oh yeah,
So
I think you nailed it there. It took us a
yeah.
while to get to what we really wanted to say, but that's the content's fire. They will watch it. That old saying.
But so then for you get like I don't know. The thing that hangs me up is like you got like, let's say you had, I don't know, talk about robot president, right? Like policy papers,
Yeah.
something like that, where it's like, we need, this is the problem.
It just weighs the whole issue, pros, cons, and
But
then what's the optimum outcome? And then the robot says, we've got to kill half the population.
right. But this is the thing is that all of these things, and this is why like chatbot makes sense that it's good because it can just scour the internet for similar things, right?
Yeah.
And then recombine them into things. But for something that has to be decision making,
Mm,
you have to have like priors set into it. Like, what is a better outcome?
right.
Killing one old person or 4 babies, or or I guess it would be the opposite of that. You don't want to kill the 4 babies. You'd kill the old.
That's a pretty easy question, to be fair, Brad. Kind of a no-brainer there. I don't think we need AI to figure out that fucking moral conundrum.
Ethical conundrum. Sorry, old people. But right? Like you got to have this. How do you we're not there yet at like setting that thing up. And I think this is a problem with medical algorithms too, is that
Sure.
we don't have, they're not trained well enough to like diagnose based on a set of symptoms and stuff like that, because it's too, first of all, like a cough is a symptom of like everything, right?
Mhm.
So it's to get that, but that also feels like a data input problem
Right.
rather than like a set your priors problem. But those feel like two problems. So I don't think we're close to. So yeah, for ad copy, for
Useless
people
things.
faking their college degrees,
Yeah.
this kind of stuff.
If you were in university right now and you're taking an English elective that you don't give a fuck about, this is the greatest thing that ever happened to you. That's probably why it's down. Is this the end of semester?
Oh,
People be writing papers.
a bunch of people be writing papers right now.
There's a bunch of people in universities like, it's fucking down. God damn it, I should have. Why did I leave this to the last minute?
But it does make sense that you have a way to like. I like the idea of it as a template, to like like a first draft generator that then you can whittle down and you can
Sure.
edit.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. But again, I still feel like the best writing comes with people talk about like you find your voice. But I guess the algorithm then just finds your voice over time.
I don't know. Yeah, if the content's fire.
I'm trying to find ways to be like, no, it's like
no, yeah, it'd be like, no, people, we need the unique view of a human brain. It's like,
do we? I
do
don't
we
know.
need that?
I'm starting to think otherwise.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
As always, buddy, it's a pleasure to see you.
Good fun.
We'll do it again. We'll see you in the new year.
All right, sounds good, buddy.
Many, many thanks to Jared. Always a blast to catch up with him. I always have so much fun talking with him about weird internet stuff, and TikTok is full of that. So the whole social media thing is weird. So again, thank you so much for your listenership this past year. Please reach out to us at 2bradforyou on Instagram or Twitter, 2bradforyou@gmail.com. 2bradforyou.wordpress.com is the website, and you can get all the information there about how to donate, how to get in touch with us. And as always, please recommend the show to a friend. Rate and subscribe wherever you're getting your podcasts, and that'll do a lot to help us with our visibility. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. Thank you again so much for listening. Take care, and we'll see you in the new year. Bye for now.